Welcome to a very special episode of No Player Connected. Today we are joined by an old friend of mine, Austin, or do you want to go by Rambles, or are we using our superhero names?
We'll do Austin. We'll go casual this time.
Sick. This will be a James Austin episode. I like it when I hear my own human name every once in a while. Today we're going to discuss the beautiful game Bigfoot, as well as the broader topic of cryptids. We're talking about little freaks and fearsome critters out in the wilds, and this is the perfect game for it. So, Austin, you know this game about as well as anybody. You played it, saw everything, refunded it, and have it again, so clearly it's got to be good. Can you give a summary of Bigfoot on Steam?
Yeah, Bigfoot, all caps, is an early access co-op survival horror game initially released in 2017 by Cyberlight Game Studio. They're a two-man Ukrainian dev team for who Bigfoot is their only release so far. In the main game mode, up to 4 ambitious squatch hunters infiltrate one of 3 available maps and are tasked with tracking down Bigfoot during the day. Players can set out cameras and bait bear traps with meat in order to try and sniff him out. During the night, he takes less damage and actively hunts the players, leading to a push-and-pull style of game where the roles are naturally reversed. There's also a PvP mode that sucks.
Yeah, and they say he takes less damage, which is saying something, because I feel like any moment you're shooting Bigfoot, he could eat all the ammo in this game and come out just fine. I guess we can talk about that later. But yeah, it's a hunting Bigfoot game where it feels more like Bigfoot's hunting you, and you just happen to be able to fight back. Not very well, but you can fight back.
Yeah, you can flail at him.
He does his signature choke slam. He can just kind of hold you like Popeye and then punch you a bunch. Right now, in game, I know you guys can't see it since this is audio only, but it's nighttime. But I think the first night, he just kind of makes scary noises. Or did we get beat up by him night one last night?
Last night, we got beat up night 1, but I think we stumbled upon him. He wasn't actively hunting us. He, whacked me once and ran away.
Alright, so it was just a casual... We bumped into him at the grocery store, and he fucking beat us within an inch of our lives. But yeah, now we're hiding in a cabin in the woods, so we should be good for a little while. Alright, so Austin, do you believe that the methods that the characters are using in this game would be effective against the real-life Bigfoot?
I think if your role-playing is for finding Bigfoot-style yokels, I think it's believable that this is what they would do. Like, trying to flush out an aggressive supernatural primate with flares and fucking sharpened sticks. And there are, gun safes with assault rifles and rocket launchers and stuff, so, I'm sure that is more effective against Bigfoot, but if real-life Sasquatch is at least half as tough as the one in-game, he is tearing through any 4 human beings in real life.
Yeah, in most settings where I see Sasquatch, I think, how could one creature survive on its own? There's no way. This isn't sustainable. This Bigfoot fucks. This guy could probably kill most of the characters in Halo. You could make him the protagonist of Halo 3 and the plot would not change.
He doesn't need the armor.
Yeah, he really doesn't. He's objectively stronger than Master Chief. He can rip stop signs up out of the ground. And I think he can javelin throw them. He's got little traps set up throughout the woods. He's already killed, and he'll kill again if you're not careful. You can find I think you can find dead bodies. You can at least find his little weird skull totems everywhere. So
yes, there are corpses that you need to photograph. There's other pieces of evidence. I'm not sure what the benefit of it is, other than increasing your Cyberlight game score.
Yeah, because the goal of the game is to kill him, but there's such a mountain of evidence that he's real that I don't know why you would take pictures. He's got dead bodies, a cave. You can just go to Bigfoot's cave. Everyone knows where it is. The totems are set up. He's got crazy-ass booby traps set up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is just an alternate world where big feet are accepted as part of National Park life.
Yeah, and they like elect task forces to go and hunt them down.
Yet the character lore in the select screen seems to hint that big feet are not taken seriously.
Oh yeah, I forgot. In this game, much like my favorite video game Evolve, there are 4 character classes with different perks like +1 run speed or +5 damage with explosives. And there is William. He's a gamer whose goal in life is to make the ultimate Bigfoot video game. So we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that.
We love that.
Yeah, keep looking. You're not going to find it here. Alright.
Oh, no, not the game studio that you mentioned that I already forgot the name of. They're pissed. They're pissed. I think the game's okay, but we can touch on that later. Do you remember Rick's lore? The Rick character?
He was 6 years old and he had a Squatch encounter that left him scarred.
Yeah, I can't remember if they actually explain what happened. I just assume that Sasquatch killed his whole family in front of him while he was in the woods.
This Sasquatch? Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, this Sasquatch could probably kill a whole city. He doesn't... We're lucky that he stays out in the woods. He rules. Yeah, and I don't remember any of the other characters. I just remember Rick's whole family getting blown up by Bigfoot, and yeah, Will wants to make a Bigfoot video game. Yeah. It's pretty rich storytelling.
Those are our 2 standbys. There's a girl and there's a more militant man, but I forgot. I'm playing as him, but I don't remember his name.
We didn't even unlock the secret 5th character in preparation for this, Littlefoot. It's a Land Before Time tie-in.
Anyone?
Yeah, alright, we can probably just leave that one for the patrons. I don't even know if this was on my list of things, but I'll lob this one at you because this will come straight from the heart. Would you say this is a good video game, or I could phrase it as, do you think this is a fun video game?
It's definitely fun. I think my heart was tainted by the PvP round that we did. We'll talk about that later. This is Chekhov's gun. I'm going to introduce the PvP round in the first act, and in the third act it's going to go off.
Yeah.
But it was mostly very funny to me. I did refund the game. I had almost exactly 2 hours in it. And I was like, well, we killed Bigfoot at least once. And I died to him horribly at least once. That's... What else could you need? And I refunded it, and it was all very funny. And then James bought me this game again in anticipation for this episode.
It's a tax write-off.
Is it good? I think it's like... Any game that's unique in its premise, I think it can be considered good.
Okay.
We talked about this yesterday, where, like, we wish that this game... Not that we have anything against the game I'm about to mention, but we wish this game had its Phasmophobia moment, where every indie game studio wanted to make a Bigfoot-like, because that would be a much more exciting world than having 80 games where you have to open a journal and guess what ghoul there is, right?
Are you here? Are you with
here?
us?
How old are you? There you go.
Yeah, the phrase Bigfoot-like just conjured some crazy images in my head. That as a genre would kick ass.
It would.
But yeah, I agree that that's the perfect way of viewing like how it would have had to take off in order for this to be like a popular genre. Maybe something else is out there, but yeah, like or maybe you could call the genre like cryptid-hunter or cryptid tracker. I don't know, but yeah, it would rule if there were more games like this that were just a bit more refined.
And I think I like plan to talk about this later, but it is it's a Ukrainian dev team, and the last time the game had like a noted update was like August of 2022. So obviously, they have a pretty good excuse for like dev stall. Like they're kind of in it, and I don't hold that against them. I do think that like we're at like what we're at build 9.5 something. We have at least it's at least update like 4.4. So they definitely went further than where we were when we played it the first time, and I appreciate that. And it's also 2 guys. Like as far as all that goes, $20, you'll have fun with it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was
Bigfoot.
I didn't know this was a 2-man job because I mean, you have a wide range of equipment. There's the different types of guns. You set up cameras around the map. You have bear traps. There's different AI animals that you can kill and use as bait. Like, there's a lot going on. You can find lanterns throughout the map. I really like the lighting in this game, to be honest. I'm a sucker for the lighting. So I'm impressed with all of this, considering it's a two-man team.
Yeah, we also talked about there's a camera system where you can set up to 6 cameras in a drone, and then you can pull up a tablet and just switch between them. There's no limit on it. You can see when one of your teammates is controlling the camera, you can see them moving it around. It's really cool. I can see a world where this is more of a Slender type game where you have to gather the evidence before Bigfoot finds you. And I think that would be way more compelling than Bigfoot runs at you, charges, and slam dunks you for 80 damage and then runs away.
There's 60% of a good game in either direction. There's really good, all joking aside, I like the environmental stuff in the game. I like that there's booby traps, and I like the evidence collection and the cameras, like you said. I do like the concept of what did they call it? A push and pull style thing? Because you do sometimes feel like you're kicking Bigfoot's ass, but he can just as easily flip the script on you. But the combat isn't quite there. I don't think it's that engaging. It's just Bigfoot running at you in a straight line. He grabs you by the ankle, slams you into the ground like the Incredible Hulk, and then he arbitrarily walks away. And I feel like we're caught in between those two game styles. So you either need to marry them better, or just commit to one or the other. To the hypothetical crypto-hunter genre explorer that's listening to this, developing your game. Make Chupacabra Seeker 2K24 or whatever. That'd be badass. Yeah, what other beasties would work for this style of game?
Definitely any of the North American Squatch likes. You got the skunk apes and the Yetis. Well, that's Himalayan, but still. Any of those would be good.
What's the difference between a Squatch like and a Squatch light?
Okay. Oh, my Squatch purist friend is mauling right now.
Okay, you can go back to answering the question seriously.
Yeah, you took me right out of it. Cryptids. I'll scroll down to my little cryptid list. Let's see what we got.
Oh, sick.
Well, any of the fearsome critters. We'll talk about those.
Yeah.
The Flatwoods monster would be cool. It's that one definitely more of a Slender type game because I feel like if that catches you, it abducts you. It's a cool alien.
Yeah, you're going now.
Ground sloth.
Oh,
that's a South American one. I'm spoiling myself here, but and there's also you should look this up quick. There's an Antarctican cryptid called the Ningen.
Oh, that's on my list too.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was slim pickings for Antarctic cryptids. So
yeah, I won't tear it from that list anymore. Mothman, I guess. He can fly.
Yeah, the new and this isn't pulling from my list, but something like the New Jersey Devil, something that occasionally flies or goes up in trees. You could really. Or the Goatman. That's a good, that's more like creepypasta or folklore shit, but I think this is fertile ground for shooting at things in the woods or other settings.
Speaking of shooting at things, it has become nighttime.
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Yeah, probably.
I can
here he comes.
Hear him. He probably won't reach through the window. Oh my god!
Where were we?
Let's talk about PvP. Let's talk about PvP since we just got mauled by that guy, and that was controlled by a AI instead of a person. Do you think it's a mistake that player-controlled big feet can just go absolutely nuts on you?
So I looked this up. Well, I tried to find other people's opinions on it, and from what I can gather, the gameplay, as I mentioned previously, was meant to be like Evolve, where you can find the Bigfoot during the day and he's disadvantaged, and then if you let him gain enough power, he'll get you, and you have to run away from him. The problem in this game is without that arbitrary, I gotta run back into the woods now, limit. Player Bigfoot doesn't have to give a shit about anything like health or stamina. He can howl to see where other people are, and then if he gets a whiff of them, he can just chase them down. Like, there's a little stink trail that he follows. It's too much. Oh, he's coming again.
Oh, yeah, I think you found your stink trail.
What?
Oh, wait, hold on.
He's figuring something out.
Yeah, he's doing some kind of new move. Alright, well, regrettably, I'm being mauled.
Clearly, they didn't think the PvP through. They just thought, like, oh, it'd be cool if you could fight Bigfoot. As someone, as like a human, they're Bigfoot.
Player-controlled Bigfoot, way too strong, in my opinion. He hated that opinion.
Yeah, he did not like that one.
He is pissed. Any ideas on why his presence causes your flashlight to flicker?
Yeah, he's actually carrying an active high-amp electrical charge in his body at all times, like Blanca from Street Fighter. And when he howls, he discharges a flashlight-disrupting wave pattern. Cyberlight told me that, so it's right.
Wait, is that real?
No.
Okay. I don't fucking know. He can howl to find people. I didn't know if he had some kind of weird extra sensory thing. It's weird that he can do that, because I played this game a while ago. I think it was a couple of years ago, called In Silence, that had some similar powers, and it was another asymmetrical horror game. But the gimmick was that the monster was nearly blind and had to rely almost entirely on sound to find people. And you could like scream really loud to scare people, and the characters would like whimper, and then you could find them that way. Otherwise, you had brief moments where you could, like, I don't know, fucking squint your eyes to see a little bit better. And you'd have brief moments of clarity, but I feel like this game's a little bit better because the premise of being blind for most of your playthrough of controlling the monster, kind of bad when I say it out loud. I like being able to see. I wish that this type of game would get refined and it would have its breakout Phasmophobia moment or game, similar to how Bigfoot broke into our cabin and murdered me. Do you think Bigfoot's real?
Oh yeah, how else did all those big footprints get there? Serious answer, probably not. Like, my philosophy on it is the same as, like, if legendary Pokemon existed in a universe where Pokemon existed, you know, like, some fucking 12-year-old would capture all of them before you even heard where they were, right? I don't believe...
Yeah, it was a little scary.
I don't believe that... that's Bigfoot calling, sorry. That he could exist. It's fun to entertain the idea, though. Yeah,
and I know that he has some significance in some beliefs of indigenous people in North America, but, like, as a scientific, like, is there a species of large primates in North or South America running around? Yeah, I feel like someone would have found one. Someone would have hit one with a car by now.
Yeah, that's him knocking.
And, like, it's frustrating to me because I want to believe. I want to think, like, or like with the Yeti. Like, I could maybe, like, the Yeti's out in a remote area, but still, like, you'd have governments, like, in a rush to try to find it because that would be such a source of prestige. I don't know. It would be such a coup for anyone to get their hands on a specimen, live or dead, that I feel like it would have happened by now. Just, it hurts a little bit to say out loud, though.
Yeah,
Bigfoot might not be real. What's your benchmark for something being a cryptid as opposed to something being like a mythological creature or like an urban legend?
Easy answer for me would be cryptids are animals that were rumored to exist but haven't been found. But I wanted to get down to a statement you could really pick apart, and I think my delineation really lies in the usefulness or purpose of the fictional entity. Like, there's probably a myth about, like, a really cool rabbit that is like the avatar of the moon or some shit, and cryptids don't have that. They're not like guardians or wardens or like associated with some other element that are beyond them. They're just guys that are out there, maybe.
Okay.
He Bigfoot doesn't protect the Pacific Northwest. He just lives there.
Right. I mean, there's Sasquatches in Wisconsin. Anyway, that's not important. Yeah, he lives somewhere. He is not guardian of the Pacific Northwest. He's doing a terrible job, if that were the case.
Awful.
So then, I guess, so with the Flatwoods Monster, continuing our discussion from earlier, is that a cryptid?
That's an interesting question. My heart would say yes, even though it's like, it looks like an alien, but then, like, yes, it probably wouldn't fall into the animal category. It would, because it's like a large humanoid with a dress and some shit. Since it was just like a weird thing that happened, I don't know, are aliens cryptids? Like little gray men? I guess that's a similar discussion.
Yeah, because you said animals, like, does intelligence matter in this? Because Bigfoot in this game, he's making tools. He's got some sort of understanding of the afterlife because he's making totems out of skulls, and they make spooky skull noises. So he's demonstrating some characteristics that we would associate with, like, sapient being? Is that the term?
Sapient, sentient.
Yeah. I mix those two up. But he's demonstrating higher level thinking. He's making tools and using them. And so, I mean, we would still call him a cryptid in this, wouldn't we?
We would.
So, I mean, if Bigfoot came from another planet, does that disqualify him from being a cryptid?
I don't think so. You know, when you say it like that, I believe him now. Not only that, I believe he exists.
Yeah, I'm a believer now. I mean, the Flatwoods Monster, I'm just going to call it a cryptid.
Me too.
Yeah, if he doesn't stand for anything. Now,
yeah, cryptozoologists claim it, so.
Yeah, if Bigfoot took up, like international workers' rights, and he was exclusively killing, like, obscenely wealthy people that ventured into Yellowstone Park, is he a cryptid now? Or is he a hero?
Yeah, maybe he's a guardian spirit at that point.
Yeah, he's badass. He's my hero.
If Bigfoot runs for libertarian mayor.
I think we should deregulate all parks. Wait a second, they rip his mustache. Bigfoot!
They put his mustache back on. He's all hairy.
Where does the line blur with urban legend, though?
So urban legends can be anything. Cryptids could be the subject of an urban legend, but it's oftentimes like a haunted graveyard or like the ghost train. Like, I think for me it's gonna be like a rectangles and squares thing where like not every urban legend has to be a cryptid, but most cryptids fall into urban legend category.
I see what you mean. Every cryptid is like associated with some legend or story, but yeah, not every urban legend has its cryptid. Be a lot cooler if it did, but
be a lot cooler.
Yeah, be way more badass. Let me see here. What else can I ask you before Bigfoot fucking cannonballs himself through the fucking window and kills you? Why do you like the fearsome critters so much?
My favorite
compared to the more typical standout cryptids.
So there's actually an argument online whether fearsome critters qualify as cryptid, because they are not like they're mostly fantastical, and there's not actually usually any claim that they existed. There's no search for them. But the critters are folklore creatures originating from 20th century logging camps, oral tales told by lumberjacks to haze newbies or otherwise as a quirky pastime. They could be used to explain phenomena, but a lot of the time they're just stupid and fun. I think calling them cryptids works for me because, I don't know, Bigfoot is kind of freaky too, but he gets to qualify, so why can't the squonk?
Yeah. Well, I guess you said there's no search for them. I feel like that's got to be a piece of the cryptid definition too, is that there's people like looking for proof, and there are some true believers out there, while the fearsome critters, it's like very clearly a drunk man made this up, or a child. Like, there's no one who's like, there has to be a way that I can track down the whirling Wimpus It's out there.
Here he is.
Uh-oh. He hates the whirling Wimpus. Get his ass. Cool.
Back to our spots.
Alright, yeah. What were we talking about?
Fearsome critters.
We were talking about the search, like someone has to believe that they're out there. And yeah, I feel like that just isn't there for the fearsome critters outside of like children. Like when I was a kid, I think I watched in real time the creation of a fearsome critter. My dad had a friend of his that was basically a pathological liar. And he came up with something called the pepperoni fish. And he just convinced me that that's where pepperoni actually came from, was a type of fish. And like he would describe the color of it and, how it behaved in the river. And I'm just like a dumb, 7-year-old. And I'm like, wow, that sounds so cool and tasty. And now as an adult, I know pepperoni sucks and the fish isn't real, so...
So I'm going to explain a couple of my favorites quick.
Oh boy.
Just to try and sell a couple of my our listeners on the critters. There's the aggro pelter.
Oh, the pelter.
It's an ape-faced, whip-like armed creature that can huck logs and dead branches at lumberjacks with the force of a naval gun. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Amazing name, amazing feature. Right behind it, GURPS's very own whirling Wimpus. 7'0" gorilla creature that can spin fast enough to become invisible. I'm quoting this from the wiki. As it does this, the wind emits a low droning sound that seems to be coming from the trees above. End quote. And when it collides with a lumberjack, it turns them into sap and slurps them off the ground.
It's crazy that it has stats in GURPS. And for those listening, GURPS is a tabletop role-playing game. And yeah, I didn't know the whirling Wimpus was like a real thing that was outside of my niche tabletop game. So it tickles me to no end that the whirling Wimpus has a small following out there.
Absolutely. And just to round off the list is the Dungaven-hooter,
yes!
a crocodile creature with no mouth and huge nostrils. It uses its tail to pound loggers into a gaseous vapor, which it then inhales for sustenance. Incredible.
The Blood Mist Huffer. That thing
Blood Mist Huffer.
Thing goes hard. Yeah, so they're very, very creative, and like you said, they're fantastical. So they are more at home, I think, in a fantasy setting as opposed to, we were talking about the potential of this, games like this being a genre. I don't think you could pull off a Dungaven-hooter hunting sim. Maybe Agropelter, though. The idea of a primate that just tries to nail you with projectiles could be cool.
You haven't played Half-Life 2 yet, but there's a level where you have to dash between cover as a sniper tries to hit you, and he has a little timer between each shot. That's kind of how I envision the Agropelter level of this of this video game.
And then the whirling Wimpus, who knows? The verdict's out on whether he gets a video game, but that'd be terrifying if all you could hear is a droning noise and you couldn't actually see where he was at. Oh, God. Please, somebody listening to this, make these games. I don't care how poorly they perform. Make them. I'll buy 10 copies. Are there any cryptids that you think have a snowball's chance of being real?
So, tangential to that, ooh, I have a little list of animals that used to be cryptids.
Ex-cryptids.
Komodo dragon. They didn't think that was real.
It's in the name. Dragon. That's understandable.
Dragon. Platypus. Which is understandable.
Yeah.
It looks fake.
Yeah, it's definitely made up.
Okapi, which is the little...
Oh, yeah.
Thing.
That also looks very made up.
Yeah, the forest giraffe. Giant squid. Apparently, it's still kind of contested whether or not giant squids exist.
Oh my god. If people don't accept it at this point, that... Don't we have dead ones? That's just confirmed?
I'm almost positive.
Yeah, get your head out of the sand.
And then the kangaroo, which, again, it's Australian fauna. What the fuck do they know?
Yeah, it's their fault.
And there's a lot of cryptids, including one that I'll mention later, that are just extinct animals that people still say are around.
Yeah.
like the ivory-billed woodpecker. People just say they see some, and there's still a search out there from cryptozoologists to see if the ivy-billed woodpecker is still kicking.
It's got to be the least exciting of the cryptids.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Yeah, don't make a video game about that one.
So, of the true cryptids that we know, I want the Loch Ness Monster to exist, but realistically, the original is dead. This might be a Shamu thing where they rename it whenever a new one is spawned, but, that one, it was discovered in, like, the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
But the easy answer, the most reasonable for me, sea serpents.
Really?
Yeah, we just know so little about the ocean. There could absolutely just be fucking megafauna out there.
I feel like they would have to eat so much that, like, we would be able to find them, like, tearing up huge schools of fish.
Yeah, but I'm sure people would say that about whales.
But yeah, we do see them.
But we do know whales,
Yeah,
like
strong counterpoint.
good counter, yeah.
But I do think that, like, there could be some fucked up, like, incredibly big, like, serpent that's at the bottom of the ocean that, like, is very low density, and so maybe it doesn't need to eat a whole lot. Keep it away from me. I know you're, like...
Horrifying.
Yeah, you're terrified of deep sea shit, aren't you?
Yeah, that's a little lore. We were playing the video game Valheim.
Yes!
Before we knew what the sea serpent was, I was scared to death about sailing the open waters. Because, like, what if it just, like, snaps up your boat and you die? Like, that's fucking horrifying. And as soon as I saw one, it was like, oh, it's Valheim. It's not actually that. It's nothing. But, the idea of it was very scary.
Yeah, and I think that's something that people could channel into these games. Because we were just talking about how when you can't get a good look at Bigfoot in this game, he's actually pretty creepy. If you just see his glowing red eyes, or they're more like orange, but regardless, his eyes fucking glow. And when it's nighttime and you just see that moving through the trees, that's really cool. That's really atmospheric. During the daytime, since he's trying to avoid you, you just kind of see his silhouette passing between the trees or off in the distance. And that, like, feeling of not knowing what's out there is really good. But yeah, with Valheim, I mean, I still freaked out when I had to deal with a serpent, but yeah, the magic eventually goes away when it's just thrown out there. But apparently not for giant squids. For some people.
Who could say,
Yeah. Oh, it's dead and in front of me? Well, you're wrong. Yeah, giant squid deniers, turn this episode off. I'm sick of you.
We hate you.
Yeah, I hate you. I don't need your listens. So, if you had to pick one cryptid to take Bigfoot's place in the Squatch-like genre as the star, and you're like, let's put it all on this. This is the mascot for the genre. This game has to kick ass. Who do you pick?
Loveland Frog dating sim.
What?
But you should look up the Loveland Frog. It's got my favorite illustration of all time. But my real answer, and this is going to tie into my favorite subject.
Loveland Frog. Hold on. He's just standing there.
Yeah, is it like the one where he's like standing next to the dude? Yeah.
Well, he's standing by like a guardrail. Yeah, he's just a. Does he sing the Michigan Rag?
We love the Loveland Frogman.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's some... Oh, this one's jacked. There's
he's fucking huge.
There's a weird CGI one, or CG one of him. Yeah, he's all oily and has pecs. I don't like this. I'm closing this. I hate this freak.
So, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you believe the hodag to be a cryptid?
Oh, man. Because the hodag feels like... The farcical nature of it is so well documented. Someone saying, yeah, that was us. We did it for our funny little festival. I don't know, but I could be convinced. I could be very easily convinced. My bar is incredibly low when it comes to cryptids.
This is a fun little combination of what we've been discussing, because hodag is considered a fearsome critter. It's a Rhinelander legend. probably made by lumberjacks during the 20th century. But, unlike others, this one had a hunt, and a fabricated hodag was discovered twice by the same guy before he was forced to admit that he actually made it up. The first time, they said that they had to blow it up with dynamite because it was just too scary and too strong.
Too powerful.
Little backstory on the hodag. It's said to have come from the ashes of burned oxen. It's like it's a vengeful spirit type of creature. And apparently it was like in some Paul Bunyan folklore at the start of it, which I think is cool. But the hodag itself, I don't know, like obviously now we know it's a goof. But you can say that about most cryptids, I suppose. And I don't know if that disqualifies it specifically, because people did look for it. And there was that period where they were like, the hodag is real and I'm going to prove it, versus the hide behind, which no one believed the hide behind was real.
Yeah, we don't even talk about that guy.
But I'm going to say this to pander to you quick. In my canon, I'm going to put it in as part of Red Dead Redemption 2's Undead Nightmare 2 DLC.
Oh my god, that would rule.
You have a mission where you and a group of eccentric Midwesterners hunt down the hodag.
Well, I was going to say, you could, and this would help negate the whole modern issue of, well, if I'm playing a cryptid game where I'm hunting it, I'm just going to take a big fuck-off machine gun and slaughter it in the woods. If you had your hodag hunt in like 1890 or whenever, you would have like shitty weaponry. And if you really lean into the like vengeful spirit of livestock thing, you could have a genuinely intimidating creature that you can't easily dispatch.
And they did have like the quest with the tiger or the lion, where like, you know, you're following it like, oh, it's gonna be fake, and then it shows up and it's real.
Yeah.
But it's been so long that I'm sure everyone will forget about that when we do a similar twist with the hodag, where we expect it to be like a dog with horns, but it's an evil reptilian creature.
So you're talking as a side mission, Red Dead Redemption 2, Undead Nightmare, which will definitely come out.
Yeah.
Please.
For anyone who doesn't know, this is a little tie-in. Red Dead Redemption 1's Undead Nightmare DLC featured a Sasquatch. So there is precedent for cryptids existing in Rockstar's video games as interactable creatures. It talks to you also.
Yeah, and Mr. Rockstar, if you're listening right now, please take our idea. Please, God. Please. I would like to see just a standalone hodag game. You know, if I learn how to make video games good like these guys, I'll make a hodag hunter. Oh, it even rolls off the tongue.
The hodag.
Dude, hodag hunter, come on. Come up with some shitty copy pasta around it and then get Markiplier to play it once. You're in.
Yes.
We're in.
Crytek, don't take our idea.
Yeah.
We don't want it.
Yeah, Crytek, stay away. Stay away. If I had to pick, for my money, if I had to pick a cryptid to spearhead a new gaming franchise, you know what? This would be really, like, this is really bland. This is not breaking any new ground. I'm just going to say Mothman. Just,
yeah.
He'd get a bunch of monster fuckers in there, and he's got the name recognition. I think it's either Mothman or Chupacabra. Like, those two are the titans of cryptozoology right now. But a Chupacabra is like a mangy dog. Usually, like, you have to, I don't know, you'd have to get really creative with how ferocious it is. Or I guess you could just have roaming packs of Chupacabras, but that would be more of a horde-style game. Well, I want something that tries to hunt you while you hunt it. I think Mothman fits that. Plus, he's got the mobility.
Yeah, and those supple legs.
Yeah, we love those.
Or an Antarctican survival horror featuring the Ningen, because that guy could be fucking creepy.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, if we want to go through our world tour of favorite cryptids per continent, and we can just kind of rattle them off. For North America, you already mentioned the Dungaven Hooter. That was my pick. I think it's cool as hell, the idea of something hitting you so hard you vaporize, and then it just breathes you in. That's so fucking cool.
It goes hard. I wrote down the Flatwoods monster. We mentioned it already, so I had to like champion it in the discussion. I do think it's one of my like all-time favorite designs. It looks so cool. Owls have a nice head to them, as it turns out. Lends itself to a nice spooky creature.
Yeah.
How about South America for you?
I split mine between the monkey-eating tree and the Brazilian devil tree. There's just a lot of trees down there that are eating things.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know what's going on down there, but there seem to be some earnest efforts to find them, or some earnest efforts to just really convince people that trees can eat you.
I like that. I'm gonna try and get mine in before Bigfoot finds us. My South American one is the giant sloth. I think it's very interesting that it's like a creature that was found to have likely existed, but also people are saying that it's still around. But it still is very cool and scary. It's not like, you know, a bird or a snake. They're just huge fucking sloths that are angry and want to fight you. And speaking of which,
speaking of
my lights are flickering.
Big and wants to fight us. I don't have my gun loaded. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and South America is an interesting place for cryptids because there are these huge sheer plateaus. They're nearly inaccessible without like modern technology. I'm looking up the name. A tepui. They're these very sheer plateaus, and I could see shit living up there that would not really be interfered with by mankind or invasive species for so long. So a more grounded cryptid like the ground okay, I didn't even realize I was making that joke, but okay. Yeah, like a ground sloth, or some people have said like pterodactyl like dinosaurs could be up there just zipping around, and they really wouldn't, I don't know, it wouldn't really be affected. But yeah, South America has got some good locales for cryptids stuff, and obviously like the Amazon rainforest.
I'm sending you an image. I'm on the Cryptid Archives for ground sloth, and there's like a section about the Mapinguari. And
what the fuck is that?
It's a cyclopean humanoid that was found. They found a 21-foot long human footprint, and that was okay. So my answer is gonna change, I guess. The Mapinguari is now my number one. That guy fucking rules. For the folks at home, it's like a hairy guy with ground sloth like claws, but it's a cyclops, and its mouth is under its chest and its tummy.
Oh.
He's coming back.
Is he? I can hear him out there, but he's stomping away. I'm gonna close the curtains.
He won't know. And I do believe he shows up again if like we stay.
Maybe he hates.
We stay at the
noise.
same spot. Yeah, he despises it.
Yeah, I think we've. Oh my god, dude! We're trying to talk about the.
Guari.
Piss off, dude. But yeah, that pick goes hard, and it's freaky. Oh my god. Shitter, get off the pot, Bigfoot.
Come on.
He is really just running laps around this place.
He's having a little fun.
Yeah, we like to have fun here. Did I grab a med kit this time? I'm gonna heal.
I did.
Oh wow, you just instantly absorb that into your body. That's another good thing about this game. They don't fuck around with heals.
Oh, I saw his eyes.
No?
There he is.
Alright. Okay, so moving on from South America, I have Europe. What's your pick for European cryptid?
Boring, but I do truly love the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, right. Okay. And we kind of went over that, and everyone knows who the Loch Ness Monster is. I picked the bishopfish / the sea monk because apparently there was one year in like the 1300s where in multiple places in Europe, people were like, check out this huge not like huge, but like check out this fish man that looks like a priest. And then people would bring him to like the local authorities, and he would, like, talk a little bit, but then, like, refuse to eat food and die. Or he would, like, demand a sacrifice and then go back in the water. Yeah, just a weird phenomenon with incredible implications. Like, very Catholic Cryptid? Hey, you're getting attacked right now.
Yeah, when you're out of earshot, I guess I'll continue.
Oh, you can continue. You're just getting mauled in the background. It's kind of funny.
Every episode of, or every picture of the bishop fish is fucking incredible. I have to change my answer now, too. This thing is amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it has a beard.
Well, it's a bishop, yeah. It needs that.
Yeah, that one blows mine out of the water.
It gets brownie points for being in a video game that I play. So it's pretty good. It shows up in Dominions, the obscure... it's another Swedish strategy game, I think. But we can go into that some other time. But yeah, bishop fish, pretty badass. We'll send you to purgatory, possibly. What's your African cryptid of choice?
This one's another, like, it's just a dinosaur. It's the Mokele Mbembe.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's just like a plesiosaur, kind of, or like a Littlefoot creature. It looks nice. I want to pet it.
Nice.
Gentle herbivore. Yeah, he's coming for you, by the way.
No,
maybe.
it's daytime. He's just leaving now.
Okay, he's leaving.
Mine was the water lion, which is just a blanket term, because apparently this is very common in a lot of places in like Central Africa, of a semi-aquatic big cat with like saber-toothed tiger like teeth that like people say is responsible for killing hippos or killing people. And I thought it was just really plausible that there would just be some weird kind of big cat living out in some jungles along rivers and stuff. Not the most exciting and freaky, but I was like, you know what? If it's in a remote enough area, maybe it's just a holdover from a long time ago. What's your Asian cryptid?
The Tsuchinoko.
Okay, what's that do?
A very harmless, fat snake, essentially. It's a snake-like being.
Wait, is that Dunsparce?
Yes, the Tsuchinoko was the inspiration for Dunsparce.
Shit.
Let me try to find the characteristics. It's got some great ones. I learned about it from Metal Gear Solid 3. If you put like a small game trap down in a specific region, you'll come back and a Tsuchinoko is there, and then you can like have a codec call about it, and everyone tells you repeatedly not to eat the Tsuchinoko because it's very rare and said to not exist, and then you can eat it and it tastes really good. And you can call back and be like, I ate the fish, or I ate the snake. Yeah,
that rules.
It goes hard.
Mine was the Penanggalan, which is a Malaysian floating head with entrails and like the lungs still attached to it. I'm kind of cheating here because this is definitely more of like almost a spirit, except it's still a living person who just has that ability. They've practiced witchcraft or whatever, and they can detach their head and trailing organs behind them and then float around.
It rules.
Yeah, and they like to drink the blood of like pregnant women, and so they'll like go around like at the foundation of your house, and then its tongue will sneak into the house and lap up blood, and yeah, it just looks freaky. And so I don't like the idea of a floating head with entrails behind it. But it's badass and cool. Very funny ways to get rid of it, though. Like, you can just put glass in the neck stump of the person who, like, occasionally shapeshifts. Or you turn the body over in the tub that it's sitting in, so when it comes back to its body, its head is on backwards. And then everyone in the village knows that you're a Penanggalan.
You're free.
Yeah, and they point and laugh, and then you have to move town or something. I don't know.
I think it's really interesting that it's pretty much in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's in like 10 different Southeast Asian countries.
Damn.
Like everywhere except for Myanmar and East Timor, this thing is around, and it's called something different in each one. It's called the leek. Well, I guess one version of it's called the leek in Indonesian. It's called the krasu, the op in Cambodia. That one rules. That's a really cool one. A little more exciting than the Tsuchinoko, but mine is greedy and has a penchant for drinking. So.
Well, I mean, yours is more of the animal thing, too. Mine, I definitely went with something I remember seeing in like a folklore story, and I was like, that. Does that count? Probably. Whatever.
Yeah. It rules.
Yeah. Oceania. What's your pick? And that includes Australia.
The bunyip.
The bunyip. I've heard that name before. What is that, though?
It's a man-eating monster. Its howl is carried through the night air, making people afraid to enter the water. It's aquatic. If you look up bunyip, sometimes it looks like a panther, like a huge fucking panther. Sometimes it looks like a real freak. Like, that thing just doesn't...
Oh.
The second image in Wikipedia, like, oh my god,
think,
what the hell?
I think this thing might be in GURPS as well.
Probably.
Yeah, there's a stat line for the bunyip in GURPS. Mine is pretty boring. I picked the megalodon.
Nice.
But I was like, you know what?
We love that.
If we're going with believable, and yeah, just a big shark. There's a big shark out there. Kills.
Just a huge shark.
And then I think we have the same one for Antarctica.
Yeah, we can talk about the ningen. I'm gonna pull it back up quick. It's described as a whale-like creature that has anatomical similarities to humans.
Oh.
The image of it on Wikipedia, it's just like, it looks like a tadpole, but instead of tail, it has 2 human legs on either side of its body.
I think I saw like an opposite where it had a whale tail, but then 2 arms. If you look up Ningen in Google Images, you'll see it. Yeah. But then, like, the other picture just looks like that cat where they edited so it looks like it just has 2 legs. So the depictions of it alter between, like, massive, semi-human, whale-sized monstrosity in cold Arctic waters, or, like, funny little guy on the ice caps.
Yeah. This one is special because it was invented in 2002 on 2chan by just like Japanese teens who wanted to... It's basically Slender Man.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Slender Man. In 2010, there's a dude who claimed to have seen the Ningen. So, it's expected to be a snaggle-toothed snake eel. I don't agree with that. I think it's real.
It's so funny when you can point to literally when something has been made, and people will still be like, actually, no, I saw it. Like the freaky statue thing that everyone was afraid of.
Oh, Momo?
Yeah, that. And it was like, I had to explain to children in school, like, you can find where that's from. Like, that's a statue, you guys. No, I heard it's real. Or in like Slender Man, like you can point to the exact forum post on Something Awful where someone came up with Slender Man. No, actually, my uncle saw it and he works at Something Awful, so you're wrong.
It got destroyed.
Oh, that statue? Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can't prove it anymore, so.
No.
Yeah.
Got destroyed after it was subject to degradation, so I think the artist killed her.
Wow.
Which, hey, now everyone can be assured, hey, she's gone now.
Yeah, she can't hurt us. Well, damn, we did our world tour. So any devs out there that are thinking, golly gee, I can't think of a cryptid that would have some diehard fans out there. There you go. You just got like 10 of them.
Yeah, make a Fearsome Critter anthology game series. Dark Pictures, I would love that. You did one for the, whatever the fuck, Wendigo. You can make some more.
Oh, I didn't even think about that style of game. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. What was that, Until Dawn?
Yes.
Yeah, do that, but with the Dungaven Hooter.
Hell yeah.
Which characters will get inhaled by the end of this game? Oh my god. So stupid. Alright, Austin. Do you have anything that you'd like to plug before we roll out of here and before Bigfoot beats my ass? I see the lights flickering outside, so I'm like genuinely fucking creeped out.
Join Professor Jam's Discord. That's where I live.
He does live there.
My socials, they're elsewhere. Don't gotta worry about those.
Austin, say the line.
Oh, you have one more question.
Wait, I do?
Give me your worst cryptid.
Oh, the worst? Oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, what is your worst cryptid?
Jersey Devil. I fucking hate it.
No, I said that one. I mentioned that one. Why do you hate the New Jersey Devil?
I was biting my lip.
No.
It's just like, it's disproportionate. It's got a stupid head.
It does.
Okay. Like, sometimes it's just a goat with wings, boring. Sometimes it's just like a bipedal dude with wings and horns, boring.
Goat with wings is kind of cool, but yeah, it definitely has a goof-ass head.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna send you this image.
Oh, I know what the image is. I think I already know. Give me the image.
It's from ABC News. Man claims to have photographed the New Jersey Devil.
Yeah, wow. Man taxidermies goat with chicken launches out of catapult. Yeah, that's pretty good.
What's your worst?
Shit.
Which one do you hate?
Similarly, there was a guy okay, that kind of gives it away. In the UK, there's a cryptid called, like, I think it's like Spring-Heeled Jack, and it's just a guy who can jump kind of high and is kind of mean. But people are like, he's a creature, he can breathe fire and smoke. And it's like, he's probably smoking. People do that. People smoke.
He's smoking.
Yeah, it was like there are 2 occurrences of him demonstrating a complete understanding of the English language. It's like, I wonder why. I wonder why this humanoid creature in England knows how to speak English. What? So, yeah, it's hardly a cryptid, but apparently people are like, oh, it's...
I'm looking in the see also category of the wiki entry for the Spring-Heeled Jack. Jack the Ripper, Jersey Devil. Boom.
Oh no! The link. Beware the pipeline.
We love the Krampus. I'm not sure if that counts, but that's on there too.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. If you look up Spring-Heeled Jack, he just looks like
he's just
he's wearing a belt and boots. That's a guy.
It's Tybalt.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, now I'm all fired up. I forgot about that question. The worst cryptid. Yeah, Spring-Heeled Jack sucks. Question. I could probably kill him in real life.
I could wring his neck.
Yeah, I'd beat the shit out. I mean, he's like a 19th century like ruffian who's probably malnourished in the woods, pretending to be a guy that jumps high. And I'm a big, strong American that sits at home all day, so I would destroy this clown.
Fuck him up.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill Spring-Heeled Jack. Anyway. Alright, now you can say the line, now that we've got all the hatred out of our hearts.
NP, see you later.